brand new Steam controller. Is it a revolution in gaming? Or is it a steaming pile of horse shit? Let's open it up and have a look. Hello everyone and welcome to the Game Shed with me, Mark. Today I'm going to be looking at the brand new Steam controller. Now I've been waiting a little while for this. It's probably been about 3 weeks since I ordered it, and it came through the post today, and this is what it looks like. So this is brand new on the market, costs you around 40 quid from Steam themselves, or Valve should I say. So this is the box. It's very simple, it's very easy to look at, it's very easy on the eye. You can imagine picking one up in a shop because it's got a tag on the top. So there you go. So let's open it up and have a quick look inside to see what we get. So if I open the box, aha, as you can see, that is the controller. Now, I picked it up for the first time and thought, wow, this is very chunky. You compare that to a PS4 controller. So there we go. I just grabbed my PS4 controller to show you the size difference, so you can see for yourselves. It's not much different, to tell you the truth. It's just a bit fatter around the handles and around the top. But there you go. So I will just put that away. This is what we're looking at today. It's the Steam controller. So it's got a touchpad here on the right, and then a touchpad here on the left. As you can see, it's shaped like a D-pad, and it's clicky. Right, so this touchpad on the right as well is clicky. Not sure about whether it's clicky in all directions or whether it's just a one click, but I will soon find out when I get to playing games with it. So there we go, it's got 4 buttons on the front there, X, Y, A and B. It's got the Steam button, presumably that opens Steam. Back and forwards, presumably it's like a start and select. And you've got the analog stick there. Analog stick feels nice, it's clicky as well. On the top, micro USB for charging, which is nice. Going all standards on us. And you've got an L and an R and a set of triggers on the back. Now the triggers, you can feel they're pressure sensitive, so that's nice, but they've got a click at the bottom. So I'm not too sure how these are going to be, but these two here, L and R, are very clicky. It's very odd, but there you go. Then on the back, as you can see here, very much like the Xbox One Elite controller, minus a couple of buttons, it's 2 buttons there and there. Look at that. I did not know this had buttons here and here. No idea what you'd be using this for. Maybe driving games, paddle up, paddle down, gear up, gear down, should I say. And then on the very bottom, there's a little switch to open up the back. Pop in your batteries. So the batteries go in these sections here, left and right, and then you stick the back on. Simple as that. So there you go. That is the controller. I'd love to hear in the comments below if you think this looks awful or it looks great. I'm a bit on the fence. I mean, I think it looks odd, but it feels comfortable. It feels really comfortable. The only thing I can see happening is that the X, from using this pad here, the X might be a little bit tough to reach, but you know, you soon figure these things out when you play enough games with them. So there you go, that's the controller itself. In the box also is a set of Duracell batteries, no advertising there, and the little dongle. So you plug the dongle in, nice and wireless. Isn't it nice to have a wireless controller? At the bottom there is also the quick start guide. Finally in the box there is this little puppy. Now I was a bit confused as to what the hell this was when I first opened it up, but it turns out it's just literally, it's kind of a little dock, I suppose, for your charging unit. It means you can use this cable and extend the reach of your dongle. So this bad boy. So that goes in the top there like that. Boop. Then what happens is you plug the micro USB in there. It's a little bit of a tight fit. And then the USB into your computer. Now obviously that extends your reach with the dongle. Otherwise you can literally just chuck the dongle into the front or the back of your PC. I have no idea whether this is worthwhile using, but I suppose if your PC is one side of the room and your couch is on the other, or your sofa, should I say, is on the other, then that will extend it so that you get better reception for your wireless controller. So that's that. That is unboxed. That's the controller. Now I'm going to go and play with it, and I will give you my feedback shortly. So that's the Steam controller unboxed. I mean, I've had it now for a little while, and I've come back and I've sort of thought I'll review it. But I mean, really, I'm not thoroughly impressed, if I'm honest. It kind of drives me mad. I think I'm so used to console controllers that having this and having this haptic feedback touchpad on the right hand of thumb, it just drives me a little nuts. It doesn't work that great. I have to go through tons of different profiles to try and get it to work for me in each individual game, and all I want is for this just to work, you know. It's a bit too much hassle for my liking. The placement of the buttons is pretty poor. I think these guys should have been here. Very simple. And I mean, I haven't really got much more to say. It's not for me. It may be for the more PC gaming people out there, and people that are willing to spend a bit of time to hone it to exactly how they want it. So what I thought I'd do at this stage, because I haven't got too much to say about it, is I thought I'd hand over to Jamie and let him give you his opinion on what he thinks of this, because he has gone through almost exactly the same thing I have. So let's hand over to Jamie.
Cheers, Mark. Oh, you want the short, concise version of the review, do you? Yeah, okay. Steam controller. Shit. That do? I'm only kidding. Right, so my review of the, or my first impressions of the Steam controller, the Valve Steam controller. Here it is. Here's the box. Here's the controller. I had massive hopes for this. I thought, yeah, it's time to reinvent the wheel. Let's do this. Now, I've been PC gaming not very long, I will admit, but I do dabble. I've got about 200 games on my PC, ranging from retro games to RTSs, first-person shooters, puzzle games. I've got the whole spectrum of games, and I find it really difficult sometimes to keep up with the competition, especially on FPSs on the PC. Now, my PC runs FPSs much better than my dedicated console, my PS4, on things like Star Wars Battlefront, on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Those games look much more stunning on my PC. I'm naturally drawn to the PC to play those games. However, I have an issue, and my issue is I cannot keep up with the PC FPS players. Why? Because they are just too damn good with a mouse and keyboard. The level of accuracy you get aiming with a mouse is just, it cannot be compared to this. You see, you've got a fat stubby thumb, you haven't got much degree of movement, you've got much more movement with your wrist, okay? Sounds dodgy, you know where I'm going with this. The mouse, there's a lot more level of control over. So I can generally not keep up. I've tried and tried and tried to play FPSs with a mouse and keyboard, but at the moment, I think I need about 3 more years locked in a room with just a mouse and keyboard and 1 FPS just to get used to it. Now, I tend to play my PC games using one of these. This is an Xbox 360 controller. Very natural to hold, excellent. I just find I have to put in that much more work, I have to be that much quicker, I have to think that little bit faster than everyone else to keep up with everyone in the servers to get my kills. So I thought, I'm going to grab one of these, this is going to bridge the gap, this is going to put the level of control of a mouse and keyboard and the design of a controller all into one. Excellent, I thought. Now, initially, when I plugged it in, it took me a bloody long time to get used to this thing. This is a touchpad, okay? Now, this is exactly where my problem started. First of all, my first issue. The touchpad, while it emulates a mouse, it's too sensitive. You can dial down the sensitivity, I believe, but trying to emulate a mouse's movement with just your thumb, no. You cannot be that accurate with just a quick swipe of your thumb. No, you need the full control of your hand. You need those delicate little movements. I find that when trying to aim in those games, nice and delicately, quickly but very accurately, your thumb cannot give you that control and that speed. That's my first problem. Okay, so I'm wildly flailing about in FPSs trying to get, I just cannot do it. So I tried with Star Wars Battlefront, I tried with Payday, I tried with COD Black Ops 3. No, it's a no-go. I cannot play FPSs. So I thought, okay, I'll tell you what, the D-pad isn't your traditional sticky-uppy 4-button or one giant button D-pad. It's a flat surface. This will be good for Street Fighter. You see? It'll be a natural movement, a nice slide. That'll be epic. So I loaded up Ultra Street Fighter 4 on my PC and off I went. Yes, you can pull off the moves 10 times easier than a controller. You can get the Dragon Punch moves out. It's so much easier. But this is where a problem is. You're trying to be delicate with this thing. It's a little swipe of your thumb, you see. However, your opposite thumb and your fingers are doing the opposite. They are smashing the buttons. Delicate swipe, smash of the buttons. My brain cannot cope with the two different levels of pressure being applied. Delicate swipe, smash. Nope. I'm smashing this thing and smashing the buttons, or I'm delicately swiping and not pressing the bloody buttons hard enough. I need to rewire my brain, as I also do with this thing. Then I tried some retro games, and this controller came alive. Why? Because I wasn't using this, and I wasn't using this. I was using the analog stick, and I was using the buttons, just quite simply here. Usually 2 buttons on these retro games. Nice and simple. Now, the analog stick is a little bit, it feels, I don't know if it is, it's probably not, it feels a little bit higher up, so it feels a bit more responsive than other sticks. Now, just looking at my pads, it's not, but it is kind of elevated on the side there. I don't know if you can see that. So it just means your thumb sits a bit higher up on the controller, or at least it feels that way. So really nice actually. So I then tried some driving games. I love a racer, so I played Project Cars, and what else did I play? Colin McRae's Dirt, the new Dirt Rally. I tried that. Very, very good as well. Now, I haven't pissed around too much with mapping my buttons, but you could map that for because you've got 2 grip shift buttons on the back. You could map that to be your shifting mechanism, shift down, shift up, whatever you like, and left, right for steering, and use that for your camera if you need to. Accelerate, brake on the, I suppose what's R1, R2, L1 and L2. Do whatever you like. Perfect for driving games, really nice, but then you don't have to use these special features, this new inventing of the wheel, and perfect on retro games where again you don't use these new fandangled inventions. So I thought, okay, maybe it's just a case of getting used to it. I'll try FPSs again. I just need to get used to controlling my thumb on the touch pads. The touchpad's really nice. If you can use it properly. It's got a nice haptic feedback, really nice actually. So give it another go, and then another problem. I found that I cannot move my thumb from here to here and find the correct button. Now, you'll see with most controllers, the buttons are on the upper right of the control stick. So PS4 pad, 360 pad, upper right. Then your movement controlling stick, or your R3, your right analog stick, is offset to the lower left of the buttons, okay? And what they've done with the Steam controller is the opposite. They've got the buttons offset to the lower left of the trackpad. Now, I know it's only a small change, just switching the two around, but it's really, really difficult to get my mind around this. I cannot do it. I'm finding myself having to look at all times at where the hell the buttons I'm meant to be pushing are. My brain will not go to those buttons automatically. You know, with a traditional controller, you know your Y or your triangle is going to be on the upper right most part, and that'll be like your reload button or your change weapon button, whatever, however you got it mapped. You know your A is going to be the closest, or your A or your X is going to be the lower most button. But here, you can't get to those buttons, or I can't get to those buttons quick enough. So I just cannot use this in any modern game whatsoever effectively. And I'm really, really annoyed about that, because I really want to find the balance between keyboard and mouse and traditional controller. One thing I will say that I really loved about this was the search mechanism. So when you're using a controller on PS4 and you're typing some text, maybe you want to set up a new stream and you want to rename it, or you want to send a message to a pal to invite him into a game. Scroll along, find the letter in the alphabet, click, scroll to the next one. Oh, I missed it, hang on, I've gone over the screen, let's go back. Click, click. It can take forever to write a simple message. With this, it's amazing. You use both thumbs at the same time. It splits the keyboard into two, and it's all touch sensitive, and you can effectively touch type with this. It's very, very rapid, and how they've done that and just reinvented the whole typing on a controller thing, they've got it bang on. So you use that feature in the new big picture mode on Steam, and it works a treat. So if you've actually got a dedicated gaming PC or Steam box, which are becoming more prevalent in this day and age, you've got that dedicated on your main master TV in your living room, your lounge, wherever your gaming room, and it's hooked up to your telly, and you're only going to be using that for gaming. You're going to have the TV on big picture mode, and all you need to do is control it with this. I love the way as well they let users input their own button mapping, and you can search for other users' button mapping on any given game. Now, as yet, as I said, I haven't played around with mapping my own buttons yet. I'm just using other users, and I still haven't felt comfortable. I've tried all sorts of different mappings for all sorts of different games, and for the FPSs, which I really wanted this for, I cannot find a comfortable way to use it, and I've reverted back to either a controller or a mouse and keyboard, both not being that effective for me. Really, really nice idea. They just haven't, I don't think, enough research and development has gone into this. I really don't. It feels a bit cheap, especially the back bit. So these grip shift buttons, they also house the battery, and when you pop the button, it all kind of seems to just fall apart, and you realise that these two buttons are actually just a plastic flap. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get the batteries, the A4 batteries, out of here. It feels a bit cheap and crap. I'm not sure. Also, the light on the centre when you power it up, it just screams of cutting corners, really. If you want to reinvent the wheel, maybe go one step at a time. Don't just go nuts. Don't make it a square. There you go. I've turned it on. It's a bit of a cheap LED. It's not the best thing. So yeah, I mean, packaging wise, very nice, very smart. Just a slipcase, and in the slipcase, I don't know why they've done this, but is a blueprint on the inside, and it's all sealed. I don't want to rip it open, but a nice blueprint for the controller. And then inside you've got your receiver. The receiver's very nice, very small, and you've got quick start guides and a controller product guide. I've not read either of those two things. I don't think I should have to. And you get your USB cable as well. So all in all, good try, but I haven't reached for this to enhance my gaming experience at all. If anything, it hinders me at every given opportunity. That's my honest thoughts on the Steam controller. Would I recommend you purchase it? No. If you can try one, definitely try one, but don't rush out and buy one, especially if you've not got that much money, because I do believe you will be very pissed off. I'm going to persevere with it. I'm going to keep on trying to use it, and I'll probably give you an update in some time. Hopefully Mark and I can do a Sunday versus using both of our ones of these to see just how shit we both are at any given game. So yeah, that's my opinions.